Agree. Greetings. Very well. Agreed. You thought of that? That was my plan. That was my plan. Death rages. Very well. I hunger. You thought of that? Death rages. I hunger. Die. Death rages. Agreed. What, mortal? That was my plan. That? Agreed. Agreed. That was my plan. Very well. You thought of that? That was my plan. Very well. I must hunger soon. I hunger. You thought of that? Agreed. That was my plan. Death rages. I hunger. Die. Death rages. I hunger. What? Rages. Agreed. Very well. You thought of that. You thought of that. What is it now? Very well. I hunger. Our forces are under attack. I hunger. I must hunger soon. Agreed. Die. That was my plan. That was my plan. Hunger soon. Die. Death rages. You thought of that? Very well. I hunger. Agreed. You thought of that? Agreed. Very well.
Our forces are under attack.
What, mortal? Greetings. You thought of that? Very well. Agreed. That was my plan. Die. Death rages. What is it now? I hunger. That was my plan. Greetings. You thought of that? Die. Death rages. I hunger. Death rages. I hunger. Agreed. What is it now? Die. Death rages. I hunger. Die. Very well. Die. You thought of that? Very well. I must hunger soon. Death rages. Agreed. That was my plan. What, mortal? Greetings. You thought of that? I hunger. Die. I hunger. Death rages. What is it? Very well. Death rages. That was my plan. I must hunger soon. Die. Agreed. Very well. You thought of that? Agreed. I hunger. That was my plan. You thought of that? Agreed. What? That was my plan. What is it now? Very well. Very well. That was my plan. Agreed. You thought of that? Very well. Death rages. Die. I hunger. Death rages. I hunger. Death rages. Die. I hunger. I hunger. Die. Death rages. Agreed. That was my plan. I hunger. What of that? Death rages. Die. Your soul is mine. Death rages. What plan. Very well. Death rages. I hunger. Death rages. You thought of that, guy. You thought of that? What, mortal? That was my plan. I hunger. Death rages. I hunger. Death rages. Die. Death rages. Die. You thought of that? What is it now? That was my plan. I hunger. Agreed. I must hunt soon. Death rages. Die. I hunger. You thought of that? Agreed. That was my plan. You thought of that? Agreed. That was my plan. What, mortal? I must hunt soon. You thought of that? That was my plan. Die. Death rages. Die. Death rages. I hunger. Death rages. Die. Death rages. You thought insufficient mana. That was my plan. Die. I hunger. Death rages. Very well. I hunger. Death rages. I hunger. Agreed. You thought of that. Agreed. What is it now? Greetings. What is it now? That was my plan. Agreed. What, mortal? You thought of that? Very well. I must hunt soon. What, mortal? What is it now? That was my plan. That was my plan. Die. Rages. I hunger. Death rages. Very well. Agreed. Greetings. You thought of that? You thought of that? Death rages. I hunger. That was my insufficient mana. Agreed. Die. I hunger. Die. Death rages. Death rages. I hunger. I hunger. I hunger. Your soul is mine. Death rages. I hunger. Very well. Death rages. Death rages. That was my plan. Agreed. I must hunt soon. Very well. You thought of that? I hunger. Agreed. I hunger. Death rages. What, mortal? I must hunt. That was my plan. Greetings. What is it now? Agreed. What is it now? You thought of that? That was my plan. Very well. I must hunt soon. What, mortal? Greetings. I hunger. Very well. You thought of that? That was my plan. Agreed. Agreed. You thought of that? I must hunt soon. That was my plan. Very well. What, mortal? That was my plan. Agreed. Die. Very well. You thought of that? You thought of that? That was my plan. What is it now?
We demand additional lumber.
Greetings. Agreed. Very well.
Research complete.
Death rages. I must hunt soon. What? Mortal?
Research complete.
Very well. Greetings. What is it now? You thought of that? What is it now? Agreed. I must hunt soon. That was my plan. That was my plan. Greetings. You thought of that? I hunger.
More gold is required.
What is it now? I must hunt soon. Greetings. Die. I hunger. What? Rages. I hunger. Rages. What? What is it? What, mortal? What is it now? Greetings. I must hunt soon. What is it now? Greetings. What, mortal? You thought of that? Greetings. What is it now?
Research complete.
That was my plan. Agreed. I hunger. Rages. Die. I hunger. What? I hunger. Death rages. Die. What is it now? I hunger. Fire! I hunger. What? You thought of that? You thought of that? Die. I hunger. Rages. Die. Agreed. That was my plan. I must hunt soon. Very well. That was my plan. You thought of that? Agreed. Death rages. Agreed. That was my plan. Very well. You thought of that? Greetings. Greetings. Very well. That was my plan. What is it now? You thought of that? Agreed. What, mortal? That was my plan. Agreed. Must hunt soon.
Research
What is
complete.
it now? You thought of that? Die. I hunger. Very well. That was my plan. Agreed. I hunger. Die. You thought of that? Very well. Rages. Die. What? That was my thought of that? Agreed. Very well. Agreed. You thought of that? I hunger. I hunger. That was my plan. I hunger. What is it? What? That was my plan. I hunger. I hunger. What? Death rages. I hunger. Death rages. Die. Insufficient mana. You thought of that? What is it? Very well. That was my plan. Agreed. You thought of that? That was my plan. Very well. That was my plan. Agreed. Very well. You thought of that? Greetings. I hunger. I hunger. That was my plan. What is it now? Death rages. Research. What? Mortal. Agreed. Die. You thought of that? Death rages. What is it now? Very well. Agreed. That was my plan. I hunger. Die. You thought of that? What, mortal? I must hunt soon. What is it now? Greetings. What is it now? Greetings. I must hunt soon. What, mortal? What, mortal? I must hunt soon. What is it now? Very well. Greetings.
Research.
Greetings. What is it now? I must hunt soon. What, mortal? Agreed. I must hunt soon. That was my plan. Very well. Agreed. That was my plan. You thought of that? Die. I hunger. That was my plan. Death rages. Death rages.
Our forces are under attack.
Greetings. What is it now? What, mortal? What, mortal? Agreed. Very well. You thought of that. I hunger. Must hunger soon.
Research complete.
What is it now? Greetings. What is it now? Very well. What, mortal? I must hunt soon. Greetings. I must hunt soon. Agreed. That was my plan. What is it now? You thought of that? What, mortal? Very well. That was my plan. Die. Death rages. Agreed. Greetings. Die. I hunger. Your earth or fire. My fire as well. Understood. Yes. I hunger. Directly. That was my plan. What is it now? Very well. What, mortal? Your soul is mine. Greetings. I must hunt soon. You thought of that? What is it now? Greetings. Agreed. What is it now? Very well. That was my plan. Agreed. Very well. I must hunt soon. You thought of that? That was my plan. What, mortal? Agreed. Very well. You thought of that?
Research
That was my
complete.
plan. Very well. I must hunt soon. You thought of that? Ranges. That was my plan. I hunger. That was my plan. You thought of that? I hunger. Ranges. That was my plan. I hunger. What, mortal? What is it now? Agreed. Very well. You thought of that?
Research
That was my plan.
Our forces are under
I hunger. I hunger. I hunger. Rages. You thought of that? Agreed. Agreed. That was my plan. You thought of that? I hunger. Agreed. That was my plan. I must hunt soon. Rages. You thought of that? Very well. What more? That was my plan. What is it now? Agreed. Very well. You thought of that? Greetings. Agreed. You thought of that? I hunger. That was my plan.
Our forces are under attack.
You thought of that? Agreed. That was my plan. I hunger. That was my plan. You thought of that? What, mortal? Agreed. That was my plan. Agreed. Die. Death rages. Die. That was my plan. You thought of that? Very well. Agreed. That was my plan. What, mortal? Greetings. I must hunt soon. What is it now? You thought of that?
The damned
Greetings.
return.
Very well. What? I hunger. That was my plan. I hunger. I hunger. I hunger. that? That was my plan. I must hunt.
Research complete.
That was my plan.
I hunt research.
Very well. That was my plan. That was my plan. What is it now? What, mortal? Agreed. What is
An
it
allied
now?
hero has been killed.
I must hunt soon. You thought of that? Very well. Very well. What, mortal? That was my plan. I must hunt soon. Agreed. What, mortal? You thought of that?
Research complete.
What is it now? I hunger. That was my plan. I hunger. I hunger. I hunger. I hunger. I hunger. Die. Agreed. What? Greetings. I must hunt soon. What is it now? You thought of that?
Our forces are under attack.
Greetings. That was my plan. That was my plan. I must hunt soon. What is it now? What, mortal? You thought of that? Agreed. Very well. What is it now?
Research
You
complete.
thought of that? What, mortal? Greetings. That was my plan. Greetings. You thought of that? You thought of that? What, mortal? Agreed. What is it now? Very well. That was my plan. You thought of that? Greetings. What, mortal? That was my plan. I must hunt soon. Agreed. Very well.
Research.
I hunger. was my plan. Very well. Death rages. Agreed. You thought of that? Very well. You thought of that? Agreed. That was my plan. Agreed. You thought of that? What is it now? That was my plan. Very well. That was my plan. Agreed. You thought of
The
that?
damned return. What needs revealing?
What is it now? Agreed. I must hunt soon. I hunger. That was my Agreed. What, mortal? You thought of that? What is it now? Your soul is mine. That was my plan. I must hunt soon. Very well. I must hunt soon. Agreed. You thought of that? My fire returns. That was my plan. Very well. Agreed. Death rages. That was my plan. You thought of that? Very well. You thought of that? What, mortal? Agreed. What is it now? Very well. That was my plan. You thought of that? Agreed. That was my plan. Greetings. Very well. Very well. Agreed.
Insufficient mana.
What is it now? I must hunt soon. Die. That was my plan. What, mortal? You thought of that? What, mortal? Agreed. Very well. That was my plan. You thought of that? Agreed. Greetings. Very well. You thought of that? That was my plan. Very well. Agreed. That was my plan. You thought of that? Agreed. I hunger. Very well. You thought of that? That was my plan. You thought of that? Agreed. I must hunt soon.
The damned eyesight is yours.
Very well. What is it now? That was my plan. That was my plan. Very well. Death rages. Die. I hunger. You thought of that? Death rages. I hunger. Die. Die. Agreed. That was my plan. Agreed. Very well. You thought of that? I must hunt soon.
Insufficient mana.
What, mortal? Agreed. What, mortal? I must hunt soon. What is it now? You thought of that? That was my plan. Very well. Greetings. That was my plan. You thought of that? Greetings. Agreed. What, mortal? I must hunt soon. Very well. What is it now? That was my plan. What is it now? Agreed. Greetings. You thought of that? I must hunt soon. Very well. You thought of that?
Research
Very
complete.
well. That was my plan. Agreed. What, mortal? You thought of that? That was my plan. Greetings. Very well. Agreed. That was my plan. You thought of that?
Our forces are under attack. I shall be your
I'll look
eyes.
into it.
Our forces